Yeah, definitely. I mean, these are, as I say, patterns of play that you practice within the training ground, the kind of third man runs and moving into spaces, and Matondo does really well here. I mean, it's this pass. I mean, it's hit with pace, but it's along the ground. Look, Lawrence doesn't have to do anything, he just has to stroke it home. It's not bobbling about. It's a real good passage of play, that. Yeah,
you're right, Alan, and I think the substitution certainly made a difference. This is the one that I was desperate to see, and we saw the latter stages of this goal, and I'm delighted we started with the build-up, because I mean, that is just sensational. You're talking about what Giovanni and his coaching team want to see get into the sharp end of pre-season. This is exactly it, where these are things that are laid in foundations during pre-season. I think they've been laid before with the DNA and how Rangers play. But you're introducing new players into the fold. You want them to get the ideas that you're after. You want to get the relationships that Alan's speaking about, combination play with wide right with right back, inside midfield. Every part of that worked a treat. I mean, West Ham didn't touch the ball for all of that link-up play. So, I mean, it was just brilliant. So, there's so much to like about the goal. And then look at this. This is breaking the press. It's puncturing through. Matondo, as you said, Emma, the other night, he's prepared to come inside. That frees up this guy, who's, I think, one of the best in the business, again, into wide positions. Just brilliant, Al.
It is, it's brilliant. I mean, he gets, obviously, Lawrence gets a little bit lucky there with the pass into Rabi there, but his touch, strike, goalkeeper, no chance. But that was very much like the goal before. Yeah. It started in their own half, exactly. The possession play, the 1-2s, then seeing a pass in front of you, having the confidence to play it, break away. And that was a top team. I mean, West Ham done really well last season. They've done well in Europe also.
7th in the league, almost getting to the Europa Cup final as well. But you're right, this is no like, again, all due respect to Blackpool, this is so many levels up when you take on a team like West Ham. And they've gone for it, actually, to try and press Rangers after the first goal. And Rangers just passed them off the park. This little guy, I think, is going to be an exceptional signing for Rangers. I really do. I think he's lit up the game. This guy, I think he's no bad up front.
He's all right.
I think he's a decent finish.
We'll run through the team lines properly in a moment, but Harry Kane starts today. I was looking at stats, 41 goals in 61 games in all competitions. That included a couple of friendlies last season. I mean, those statistics are absolutely ridiculous, and it'll be a real test. He's up front with Son as well today for this Rangers defence, won't it?
I think it will be a real test. You've got Kulusevski on the right-hand side. So I think as a back four, you want to play against these guys. I know it can be, obviously, you don't want to concede goals or anything, but you want to test yourself. The likes of Connor Goldson, Suter, Tavernier's going to have to be careful with Son in behind him, because he's going to try and spin in that space, and Kulusevski will come in on his left foot. So it's going to be difficult, but to play at this highest level, you have to go up against them at some stage, and there's no better test than today for them. So they're going to have to communicate, talk to each other, pick the right time when to go forward, because you don't want to leave too many gaps in behind. But it's a real test for them.
The communication will be brilliant today to see how those relationships and how they're talking, because Goldson is such a brilliant leader at the back, because he allows Tavernier to go, and he's been a real rock for Rangers. Delighted to see him extend his contract here. Suter needs to understand how to play in this group of players as well. He's taken a step up. He's playing in an environment where mistakes will be absolutely highlighted, because, I mean, there's such a huge demand to be at it all the time. But the little one that if you remember, we highlighted the other night, where he just got dragged.
For the opportunity for Antonio,
and Antonio went through the gap.
Yes.
I mean, if you do that today with Kane or Son, then you'll be absolutely punished, I would imagine. So it's really important that he's disciplined and talks to Kamara and Lundstrom in front, because Kane's one of the best in the world as a finisher, but he's also fantastic at dropping in as a number 10. So he comes deep, and when you're coming deep, you'll know, Alan, the centre-back sometimes can get drawn to that, and that's exactly what they're trying to do. They're trying to drag one of the centre-backs out to create the gap. So all of these things, I think, are going to be really fascinating to watch.
Well, we're talking about Harry Kane then, and the threat he's going to pose this afternoon, from one top-class striker to another, because the first-team coach here, Roy Mackay, well, he was pretty prolific, fair to say, in his time as a player. Let's get his thoughts then after the current pre-season preparations. Earlier this week he was talking to Louise Shaw.
Roy, we're into the final week of pre-season. How have the last few weeks been for you and the coaching staff working with the players?
I think it's been a nice couple of weeks with some good training sessions, good friendly games. I mean, against good opponents with high intensity, and the last test is always the most difficult one against a Champions League team with Spurs. So I think it's always a big challenge for us to see where we are at the moment.
And how pleased have you all been with the levels the players have shown over the last few weeks?
Yeah, really good. I mean, if you see all the games we have played, unfortunately against Sunderland was only 45 minutes, but we had some good friendly games with a lot of high intensity. The players could show them, got the minutes, so we need everybody to be fit for the Livingston game. So that's why it's important also have good opponents like West Ham and now Spurs. So looking forward to it already.
And you touch on that there, that West Ham game on Tuesday evening. How good a test was that for the players to come up against opposition of that level?
Yeah, I mean, it's always good to test yourself. I mean, of course they are in pre-season as well, but you play a top side from the Premier League. They could have been our opponents in the Europa League final last year, so it's a big test, and I think the boys did really well.
And a number of new signings made their home debut in that game as well. How have they all been settling into the squad? Really
good. I mean, you saw already how the fans welcomed the new players. I mean, and of course it helped with some if you make a goal or give an assist. So I think they're feeling really well here. I mean, also the welcome they are becoming from the other players is really good, and because at the end we know you have to do it as a complete team, so you have to make sure that the new teams are settled as soon as possible. So, and then good games and good results help.
And we are heading into the final pre-season fixture against Spurs. What kind of test are you expecting from that game?
Yeah, I mean, like I said before, you play a team who plays Champions League with three amazing players up front with Harry Kane, Richarlison and Son. So it's going to be a good test for us. I mean, they have an excellent team, but a really good coach. So I think this is a good final test for us to show how far we are against a Champions League level opponent.
Mm-hmm. And you touch on it there, obviously with the Champions League qualifiers coming up too. How vital are these challenges for the players?
Really good. I mean, because this is the level you can expect in the Champions League. I mean, also I think West Ham was close to it as well. Now our final test, but we don't forget our first game is Livingston and then the Champions League. But of course the goal here is to reach the Champions League because it's good for the club, but also good for the development for the players themselves.
Mm-hmm. And obviously it is fast approaching that Livingston game. Out with the Spurs match, what do sort of the final training preparations look like for the players now?
I think we approach all the games the same way, if it's pre-season or the regular official game, Champions League.
Back for the new season.
I will be no happy and Tom.
Obviously, having a player of his calibre, you know, former calibre, working on the coaching staff, in with the forwards and different things, it must be a real asset and something different to maybe what Giovanni van Bronckhorst brings to the coaching staff side of things.
Yeah, of course, because he's a specialist in that position. So you want to learn from the best. He's played at the highest level, the biggest teams.
Is that an incentive for a player when you're perhaps getting, you know, put forward for a club, not just the club, but who you could possibly work with behind the scenes?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. I think you're right, Emma. Definitely to go and work with these type of guys and guys, you're going to become better.
What you get is you get little nuggets of information, like, and it might not be. It could be like how you finish. So it's how you go across the goalkeeper. Do you hit it with your instep? Do you hit it with your laces? Movement is a big thing for forwards, absolutely. And I think, Roy, you said there his goals ratio is just absolutely superb. And we're not talking about lower leagues here, we're talking about
Bayern,
at the very top end of the game. His style was such he played with some amazing players around him in that era as well. When you think about some of the Dutch strikers going about, but he was absolutely up there. So that sort of passing on of real information that has been executed at the top end, you can't help be impressed with that, and you can't help want to take that into your game. So the guys who are playing in the sharp end of the pitch will love those information they get from Roy. Giovanni will offer a different type to the midfielders. Of course, can play left back in that as well. But so I think it's a consideration as a player.
Can you imagine being a young boy?
Oh,
that's one of the biggest things as well. Obviously, Morelos and things. Nobody's ever the finished article. You can always become better. But the thing for me is the young boys that come through and train every day with the first team, learning off guys like that. It's only going to...
But you know what's frightening, Alan? I've found that I speak to young boys sometimes, and they would know the name, but they would say, was he good?
Go and Google him, they'll Google him that night.
Just go and Google that, and then come back and ask me that same question the next day. I don't think you're going to need to. Yeah.
Terrible, isn't it? Fastest Champions League goal scorer as well, I believe, Roy Mackay for Bayern Munich, only against Real Madrid. Eh? Wasn't half bad. So that was Roy Mackay, so great to hear his thoughts on pre-season so far. Let's have a look at the starting lineup for today's game then, because Giovanni van Bronckhorst has made 3 changes from the side that beat West Ham on Tuesday. The players coming in, Alan McGregor in goal, and then it's Tom Lawrence and Rabbi Matondo. And it's not really a surprise when you think about the impact that they made when they came off the bench. So Rangers line up McGregor, Tavernier, Goldson, Suter, Barisic, Lundstram, Kamara, Lawrence, Matondo, Cholak and Kent. So that is how Rangers are going to line up. As far as Tottenham are concerned, and my goodness, this is a strong team. Antonio Conte has named Lloris in goal, Romero, Dyer, Sanchez, Royal, Højbjerg, Bentancur, Sessegnon, Kulusevski, Kane and Son. So plenty of household names in that lineup as well. I mean, we've already talked about, just what a contest this is actually going to be. But from your perspective, seeing Lawrence and Matondo from the start, I mean, is that something that you're particularly looking forward to, given the impact they made?
Yeah, I think he can come on as a sub and make an impact. But starting a game, you absolutely want to be a starter with the team, and I think the relationships that they're starting to kind of progress in the pre-season games as they start to move on. So today you want to be in a starting lineup. It's different starting to coming on as sub. Sometimes you come on as sub and you think a fresh pair of legs and you can't get a second wind. The guys didn't look like that, I have to say. Tom scored very early and Matondo later on looked really sharp, but sometimes it takes a wee bit of speed to get into the game. But when you're starting, you feel good. But Tom Lawrence, I think, is a player that I absolutely believe Rangers needed, because how many times have we sat here and spoken about the only player in the group from midfield that would go beyond was like Scott Arfield. And watch this goal, because I was watching where he came from. He's sort of in this position where it's starting to... But look at his run there. He takes it right through the middle and puts the brakes on. So what he does, he deepens the back four. But then he's checked off. He's run off the midfielder. He's deepened the back four. So when Matondo gets onto the back of it, midfielder he's run off. The back four generally have dropped onto the 6-yard box. He's hit the brakes. That's really clever. So although he's not gone beyond, because Cholak's through the middle, he's got the presence of mind that his first movement is to stretch, is to run. And automatically as a defender, you're thinking, right, I'm here going to squeeze out, and he's in behind. But if you think, right, I don't know what's behind me, you deepen, that creates the space that he's looking for. So I think he could be a really important player again.
That's a good pick out for you there, because you actually see him sprinting, and as soon as you say, hits the brakes, he gave himself like 10 yards, and then he could go again.
That's
and
right.
Nobody can, you're right, a defender, they can't stop and start that quickly and get back close to him.
When defenders go with a run, generally they'll turn and then face their own goal.
Yeah.
And of course, he can see the back of their jersey. He can see exactly where they're going, and that's
As
why
soon as
he
he
creates
sees
a
that,
gap,
it's game
because he
over.
hits the brakes. And before they've turned to see where he is, it's too late in the
They
back.
definitely came on and changed it.
Yeah.
I think when we look at the second half and how well they played for that easy 20-25 minute spell, when it was Matondo, Lawrence in number 10, and then Kent, Cholak making clever runs up top, they looked really sharp and like they'd been playing with each other for a while. So hopefully it's a good sign of things to come, and we can see it from the off today.
Yeah, both in the starting lineup today. As someone who would love to be in the starting lineup for either of these teams, it has to be said, is Jermaine Defoe. He will be handing out the Walter Tull Trophy at the end of this match to whoever emerges victorious. And we're going to be able to hear from him now, because it's great to have him back at Ibrox, and he's talking to Nick Thompson.
Jermaine, a warm welcome back to Ibrox Stadium. Hasn't been that long, but I'm sure the memories of a fantastic spell are flooding back for you.
Yeah, of course. I mean, great memories. Of course, see the highlight winning the league. 55 league titles for this club was probably the main reason why I came here. Obviously, when I spoke to Steve at the beginning, spoke about the club craving that league title, and especially that one. Probably one of the most important titles in the club's history. So to be a part of that was obviously special. Still got friends here, even the staff. I still keep in contact with everyone. So yeah, of course, the comeback is always going to be special for me.
How excited are you by the game today? Two top teams going head to head with each other.
I think it's a good test for both teams, to be honest. And I think especially at this stage of pre-season, where the fitness level should be quite high now. Obviously, the season is not too long away, which is always good. It makes the game better. And And I'm really looking forward to it, to be honest. You know, everyone keeps saying to me, who do you want to win and stuff like that. And just want to see a good game. And like I said, you know, when you sort of like finish and you can sort of like, you know, sit back and actually enjoy watching games. So, yeah.
And I guess that's perhaps something you've been going to be doing quite a lot of. I've seen quite a lot of you in the media and, you know, getting a lot of rave reviews for that. Yeah,
it's been good. It's something that I do on a day-to-day basis, really. When I'm at home with my family or with my friends, you know, sitting back watching football and talking about it, it's no different, sort of like, I suppose, with a camera in front of you. So it's something that I've always loved doing. You know, everyone knows I'm football mad. I've enjoyed that. Of course, it's not going to be the same as playing. And obviously in the process of discussing a coaching role with the academy at Tottenham, an ambassador. So hopefully at some point that'll get sorted and it will be announced, I'm sure. But something I'm looking forward to as well.
There's been a bit of a squad evolution since you left Rangers earlier this year. What have you made of the business that's been done this summer so far? Yeah, it's been good. All the players that have come in. I spoke to Ross there. He seems really excited. I spoke to the manager. He's happy with the squad. I actually messaged Rabbi because he's part of the same agency as me. So I messaged him and basically just said, I think I messaged him before the deal was done. Just basically said good luck and, you know, make sure you sign that contract because you'll love it. You know, as a young lad and such a good experience for him to come here and, you know, especially with the demands of, you know, winning. I think that will help him in the long run. An opportunity to win trophies. But all the signings, to be honest, you know, you don't want to just mention one. All the signings seem to be really good and obviously want to wish them all the best. How did you find it at the latter part of last season, watching the team go all the way to the Europa League final? That was special. Never been so nervous watching a game of football. Hands were sweating. So close. You know, part and parcel of being a footballer, part and parcel of playing at the top level where games are decided sometimes on penalties. And when you win, it's great. And when you lose, it's really hard to take when you come so close. But credit to the players, you know, to reach that far in a competitive tournament like the Europa League, and it will help them going forward for sure. And from a Tottenham perspective, some exciting business been done there, and obviously a proper world-class manager in charge. World-class manager, I've said it many times. You know, one of the best, a winner. CV speaks for itself, and the fact that we've done business early, big statement. I can imagine all the Spurs fans and everyone involved in the football club's happy because when you look at the players that we brought in, you know, it's really exciting times. And it's always important, I think, to do business early as well. Players that have played in the Premier League. And just really exciting times. And I believe, without putting pressure on anyone, I believe it could be a big season for the football club. Well, thank you for your time, Jeremy. Cheers. Enjoy the game. Cheers, my friend.
Well, it's all change here. They're more active, driving better, and going out in the middle of the night.
It's happening. It's happening.
Whatever your reason for making a positive change in life, Vitality protects and motivates you to make it happen. Smart Tech gets you started, rewards keep you going. That's how we share the benefits of healthy living. We call it shared value insurance.
No, I'm off to the spare room.
Vitality, sharing the benefits of healthy living.
Kick-off fast approaching here at Ibrox between Tottenham and Rangers. Bit of an exclusive there as well from Jermaine Defoe. Not only did he tell Rabbi Matondo to sign, he's also going to be an ambassador at Tottenham and potentially a coach as well. So you heard it here first on Rangers TV. Well, he wishes he was out on the pitch today, but let's cross over and find out how the players who do actually start this one get on. The commentary box today for us, we've got Tom Miller and Gordon Smith.
Well, thanks to Emma, Neil and Alan, of course. And as Emma said, with their impact from the bench on Tuesday against West Ham, it's no surprise Rabbi Matondo and Tom Lawrence are rewarded with starting jerseys today. The back four has started in midweek. Spurs, who had 2 previous games on a short trip to South Korea, are pretty much at full strength, with Harry Kane leading the line. £50 million signing, Richarlison starts on the bench. Gordon Smith, great to have your company. It's an impressive Rangers squad with quality in depth. Competition for places can only be described as white hot.
Yeah, it's a key aspect of any side who are going to be trying to
actually, win things and be a successful team is to have competition for places, because that's when you know that the people that are on the field are playing for their places. It's not as if they can be confident that they're just going to be getting picked every week. Because if you look at the squad, if you look at all the players that sit on the bench today, I mean, you can pick a very good side out of the players, and you can actually field a very good team that are the ones that are on the bench. So it's a crucial aspect, Tom, without doubt.
Still no Alfredo Morelos and Kemar Roof, the medical staff, working overtime to have these guys back and in contention for a place in the squad. But the men in possession, an exciting front three of Rabbi Matondo, Antonio Tolak and Ryan Kent. A terrific surface to go and display their skills on today, but it's stern opposition in the form of Tottenham Hotspur. Relationships with Spurs gone way back, but my first experience with the European arena in the early 60s, in the days of real top players like Jimmy Greaves, Cliff Jones, Brown, the Scottish goalkeeper at that side.
Yes, well, they've had good years. I mean, there was also John White, the Scottish player, who unfortunately lost his life playing golf as well. As you said, Jimmy Greaves and people like that, Bobby Smith. It was a very strong side, but they've had good sides. When I went down to play in England myself, 1980,
International record he has, Gordon. 73 caps for England and 50 goals. And he's a man Giovanni Van Bronckhorst will have given probably strict instruction to watch his movement today.
Absolutely. I mean, the great thing about him is he's not just a goal scorer. He is a tremendous player as well. Very creative, good touch on the ball, creates chances as well. And he was playing a little bit deeper last season as well, coming up and getting involved more in the play rather than just being an out-and-out striker.
It's back to Lloris, the Spurs skipper. 10 years at the club now. Son finding a pocket of space, delivers early. James Tavernier has the measure of that one. Cecil Ramos trying to make some headway, but pass over hit. Lawrence. Barisic, who's had a terrific pre-season, and his goal certainly delivering some confidence to his play. Benton Kerr caught in possession. Lundstrom goes hunting, held off by Kjellbjerg. Kjellbjerg, the Danish defender, but again here's Spurs coming forward through Kulusevski. Suter stays goal side, makes himself big. Support from Son. Kulusevski again, nibbled it by Barisic, and McGregor protects the near post. This movement of Kulusevski from the wide area coming central, just finding that bit of space.
Yeah, it was John Suter was just caught out a little bit with the initial pass there. He just got himself slightly the wrong side of the player in Kulusevski, and he really did almost get caught out. He did well to get back in order just to slow him down a bit, but that was a bit of a chance for Spurs there.
Kulusevski, he's on loan from Juventus. Will be Youngman Son to take the corner. Absolute legend of South Korean football. Flighted in. Isn't trouble Alan McGregor. Special mention to the ground staff, Gordon. What a job they've done through the summer to get the playing surface here at Ibrox in such terrific condition. That forward ball put
always tremendous, isn't it?
Benton Kerr, it is really demanding it again. Emerson Royal. I'm very impressed so far by the appetite from Rabbi Matondo, Gordon.
Yeah, he looks really busy, isn't he? And he's sharp too, and that's going to be a real threat to teams, certainly when he's playing Scottish football. He's going to be a player that's going to cause a lot of problems. I'm quite impressed so far with Kolak, his contribution as well, Tom, because having a big striker up front, he's a bit more mobile than Morelos is. Don't know whether he'll have the same goal-scoring record as him, but he's certainly more mobile and definitely has something to offer.
I think he'll certainly back himself for a goal. His record is better than good, but so far, ball in the net at Blackpool, chopped off for an offside flag, but he'll be looking to break his duck sooner rather than later. Antonio Cholak leading the Rangers line. Suter exchanging with Goldson. Goldson again made his Premier debut for Brighton against Watford. Cholak the target, losing out to a very determined challenge there from Eric Dyer. Tavernier caught. Son picks up the loose ball. Referee gives the green light to continue. Harry Kane out to Emerson Royal. In fact, out the park. He's busy. Emerson Royal, Brazilian, previously with Real Betis and Barcelona. Real modern wing back. Cholak has a wee look just to see where Eric Dyer is. Lawrence wants a piece of the action, gets a good touch. Here's Kent. And Kamara, well read by Son though. A lot went through Benton Kerr in the central midfield area for Tottenham. First the 9 caps for the Uruguayan midfielder. Back to Lloris. Great take from Kent. Just loses out to the backtracking Kulusevski though. Playing today for the Walter Tull Memorial Cup. He was Britain's first iconic black outfield player. Links with both clubs. Career with Spurs. He was due to join up at Rangers before World War I saw him lose his life in action. Great skills, Kamara. Barisic delivers early. And Benson Kerr again back defending, does enough to slow Rangers up. Held up by Kane. That intelligent play you talked about, Gordon.
Yeah, he does that so often, doesn't he?
The play you talked about, Gordon.
Yeah, he does that so often, doesn't he?
Kulusevski. Milberg again looks a real athlete in midfield. Back with Eric Dyer. Oh, and a touch and spin again. Kulusevski. Kamara again. Barisic, Kent's on the move. Connor Goldson. Tottenham with everyone behind the ball right now. Tavernier, Cholak takes it on. Goes down with a very determined challenge from Dyer. Son is the breakout for Tottenham and he's just pulled back.
Yeah, notice what you mentioned there, Tom, you're absolutely correct. As soon as Tottenham lost possession of the ball, they get everybody very, very deep behind the ball as quick as they can. This must be a style of play that they're going to continue with, because that's they're obviously practicing it here today.
Oh, Lawrence with intervention, the give and go from Cholak. Here's Kent. Can something come in Rangers' favour here? He can't get away from the backtracking defender Romero. Solid defending. Rangers keep the pressure on. Lundstrom gets there ahead of Kane. Barisic takes over. They're all wanting the ball. Here's Tom Lawrence. This goes for the drag back, taking out the play with that challenge. Took a knock in the process. John Beaton right up with play. And there's a problem here for Tom Lawrence.
Yeah, I hope he's okay and recovers to this. A key player now, but it was a strong challenge on him. There it was Romero. He'd made a good challenge earlier, Romero, on Kent. He took the ball from Kent, but that was quite a strong one. But hopefully he recovers from this and he gets back on his feet. It seems as if he's going to be okay.
That's good news. Romero, another former Juventus player, as Antonio Conte puts his own stamp on the squad. James Tavernier over the ball.
Imagine Tavernier will have a shot from here, Tom. What do you think?
I think it's more than within his range, Gordon, that's for sure. There's every Spurs player strung across the 18-yard box, with the exception of the goalkeeper Lloris. Tavernier gets it up, gets it down. It's not far away, Gordon.
Yeah, good effort, isn't it? It was dipping, curling as well. The goalkeeper was getting across there. Pace Rotondo's got, and it just helps him both defensively and attacking wise, isn't it? He's very sharp.
You can see just how the Rangers support relate to him. And a club that's had some terrific wingers over the years. Here's Kulusevski. Royal. Blocked by Barisic. He timed that one well. A wonderful roll with the studs of Kent. Sliding challenge. Bentancur, referee lets it go. Sessegnon, Bentancur again, exchanges. What a block that was from Barisic, Gordon.
Yeah, he did well, didn't he? Good little touch from Kent initially, but Bentancur, I thought his challenge was excellent. Actually, it wasn't a foul at all. Some of the fans thought that maybe it was.
Intervention from Lundstrom was on the money as Kane dallied. Antonio Conte is out the technical area, barking instructions, perhaps frustrated the way that Rangers are taking the game to them. He'll be 53 on the 31st of July. Tottenham manager. Received, he has a manager the league wins with Juventus, Chelsea and Inter. The three in behind Cholak, Gordon, with a real threat, Matondo, Lawrence and Kent.
Yeah, there's just so little space for them at times. If it's a slow attack, you can just see already how Spurs just get everybody very, very deep there, and it's very, very difficult to find space when you're trying to make runs in behind them.
Oh, the very man to do so is Ryan Kent. Still Kent, nibbling at him is Royal. Now he delivers. Sting taken out it, and Dyer gets it away. Terrific take from Kamara, though. Rangers have scored 15 times against Spurs, and the one man has scored 2. The legend, Colin Steen. He was promptly sent off. Here's Lundstrom. He might fancy it. He's cannoning off the head of Romero.
Yeah, it's good play. The main thing about it is with Spurs sitting in like that, the main thing is just keep the ball moving about, keep taking little touches. I mean, now and again you'll have a dribble from like Kent or Matondo, but all in all it's just about getting accurate passing.
Barisic on the corner. The aerial qualities of Sanchez paying the dividend. Back to Barisic, delivers yet again. Keeper has a bit of a slap at it. Cleared only as far as Kamara. Matondo. Golson stays in the high line. A wee bit static at the moment. Charged down ultimately by Sessegnon. They are a big side, Tottenham, to be fair, Gordon.
Yeah, they are. You could see that as they came out, with both sides coming out together. You could just tell Tottenham were a very, very big side physically.
The clearing header came from Davinson Sanchez. Just £42 million from Ajax in 2017. Talking Ajax, of course we wish Calvin Bassey every success in his move to Holland. Good play, Kamara, and Lundstrom, although ultimately Sessegnon read the situation, steps in. Here's Kane releasing Kulusevski. He always wants it back in his left foot. It just gives time for a defender to regroup, rethink, and get something on it. Cleared only as far as Royal. Emerson Royal again. Kjellberg. Romero. It's Rangers turn to every minute in their own half of the field.
Yeah.
There we go, Bentancur again for Romero. Rodrigo Bentancur again. And the near presence of Cholak. Look at the pace of Rotondo. It might yet break for Cholak. Just all starts with him putting pressure on the defender, Gordon.
Absolutely, that was good play doing that there and winning the ball back, but just unfortunately a great little run from Matondo. They just couldn't quite get on the end of it.
But that pace from Matondo absolutely electric. Kane. Kamara squeezes it off his toe. We're halfway through the first 45. Kamara has imposed himself since the first whistle. Lundstrom playing with the head up. Look, options might be available to him, and Kent is one of them. It's a clever ball. 1-0 Rangers. The opener from Antonio Colak. The deftest of touches from Tavernier. The pace that starts the opportunity for Rangers from Rabbi Matondo. Absolutely outstanding. Awareness from Tavernier and the finish from Colak. It's Rangers 1, Tottenham 0, 23 minutes played.
A tremendous goal, no doubt about it. Matondo, as we've said all along, is going to be a real threat to MD plays against. Faz in a lovely cross, flicked on there, but it was good positioning as well, because Colak got himself almost like anticipating the fact that got himself in the right position, free from the defenders, and stuck it away so well. Great finish.
As the stadium announcer confirms, it was the variation from wide area there, for me, from Matondo. Perhaps everyone thinking he's going to try and clip it back post. He just pops it into a congested area, and the way that Tavernier read the situation was exquisite and without breaking stride.
It was, because he probably realised he wasn't in a position to have a shot himself of where he was, but decided just to make the chance. But here's Tottenham breaking away now.
Son, 2v1. Oh, McGregor. Well, you have to say that was a genuine chance for Pierre-Emile Kjolberg.
I think they're giving a goal kick. I did feel that was a save.
He may have got a touch of a glove on it.
No, maybe not. Looked as if he'd saved it. They're claiming for that, but maybe he didn't. But I thought Son should have played the ball a bit earlier.
It was the pace of Son that got them up the park so quickly.
Exactly. It was a 2-against-1 situation, but he took so long to make the pass.
Danish international complaining to referee John Beaton. He now wants a corner. Perhaps that's to spare his blushes.
Yeah, I think it probably was, because if he missed the target there, it was certainly a bad miss. But as I say, I thought that if Son had played the ball a bit earlier, it could have been giving us more trouble.
This man is going to give trouble to every defence.
No question.
That comes across this season, Don.
Well, we've seen him in 2 games now, and they're against Premiership opposition, millions of pounds of players, and he's really given both defences so much problem.
Here's Lawrence. In for Kamara, just tries to return the compliment. Colak goes looking, Lawrence takes over. Just lifted over the top. Everyone with a glance to the far side to see that there was no offside flag. It didn't come, and Lawrence coming so close to a second.
But it's good awareness, isn't it? I mean, a lovely little flick there from just to find the Lawrence to flick it into him there, just to play him in. But I think that both sides, the ball just came there. He was unlucky, Lawrence, but lovely little touch from Colak just to put it in his path there.
Long from Lloris. Chips it forward. Colak a target. And a clever return header to his goalkeeper from Romero.
It already looks like a situation where John Lundstrom is going into the back. He's playing in the back now, Tom.
I think he's maybe just also been given a week in a man for man on Harry Kane.
Yeah. So I'm saying it looks like that. He's got a man for man job on him. Yeah. You must see Kane as a threat for the out ball for them, but he's now marking. He's playing deeper than he was before.
With Eric Dyer. Kulusevski on the spin away from Tuta. Again brings it back in his left foot. Kane, Kulusevski, Alan McGregor. Well, there's no doubt about this one, Gordon. if there was a suggestion he didn't get a glove on the last effort, he certainly did here.
Yeah, no doubt about it there. Kulusevski is very, very sharp. He's got a good bit of pace as well. He has been the threat so far on this right-hand side when he gets picked up the ball there. Finding it very hard to stick to him, and Kane let it in his path there, but it was a good save from Alan McGregor.
Vintage McGregor. Son to take the corner. 102 caps for South Korea. Still a bit to do with it. That's a certain Stephen Davis though. Flighted in, it's a good header. Eventually knocked over the top. It was Dyer with the first header, stepping off the marker. Puts it back into the mix there.
Romero put it over the bar there. I thought actually he took away the chance. It was almost like a clearance, wasn't it? I thought that maybe the ball was going in. It was certainly
very central too.
Yeah. Turns out it's a pretty bad miss that.
Yep. We'll take it. Still above Lisbon. His uncle's Ted Croker Gordon, a former administrator of the FA.
Yep.
Son sweeps it to the flank where he's chased again by a number of white shirts. This time it was Royal trying to deliver, but the Rangers well organised. You saw the early darting run from Kjellberg, picked out, but the ball is straight through to Alan McGregor.
Yeah, it's quite interesting that John Lundstrom is definitely playing pretty deep now, Tom, because he's
just trying to deny that space between the centre backs.
Well, quite a lot of the times he's even behind where Conor Golson's playing. He's actually covering there when Golson comes forward to try and maybe mark a striker. Lundstrom's in behind.
Shooter. Good intervention. It looks as if Kulusevski has also gone a bit more central at the moment to try and influence the game. And that's probably trying to get the wing backs, Royal and Sessegnon, more involved. Intelligent play from Golson, just has a look, uses Alan McGregor as the out ball. Claims he was given a wee nudge for his troubles from Romero, 24-year-old defender. Someone. So I'm going to block the cross again as Ryan Sessegnon threatens Son in support. Sessegnon again. Kjellberg. Danish international. Wonderful take there. And Rangers stick to the task, Gordon.
Yeah. The defending in numbers when it comes to it, because you can see the threat that Tottenham obviously have on the ball from those sort of dangerous situations.
Dyer from distance. Cannons off the chest of Alan McGregor and launched away by Conor Golson. Suggestions that Lawrence might have been impeded. Referee lets it go. He's certainly been pretty lenient today, the man in the middle.
Yeah, he's not been given many fouls, has he? At least letting the game flow.
Well, again, way to the far side. And former Fulham man's Dutch deserts him. Don't get much for 25 million nowadays, do you? Alan McGregor again, that's not his first save of the afternoon, Gordon.
No, it's not his first, but it must have been quite a firm shot when he didn't actually even get his arms to it, really, off his chest, wasn't it?
Certainly. Perfect afternoon for football, no wind whatsoever, and temperatures, well, not nearly as high as we experienced earlier in the week in Glasgow. Golson just a wee bit late to get there around the corner. Son, Harry Kane driving deep into Rangers box, and again Alan McGregor Well, John Souttar matched them stride for stride. Alan McGregor came out, got the angles 100% correct. It spins behind for a corner.
Yeah, good save, because Harry Kane is a real threat, and you know he's got himself in a situation where he even gets his shot in. John Souttar is chasing him, but he doesn't manage to stop him at all. Just maybe makes him hit the shot at a slight angle, maybe that he would take a bit more time there, but very good save from Alan McGregor.
Again, Son is on the corners. Son delivers. It's kind of scrappy in there, and the referee sees it in favour of Rangers. A bit of a push perhaps on John Lundstrom.
It has been since Rangers have scored, Spurs have actually been controlling the game, Tom. I mean, in the main they've been the team that have been creating the chances, and maybe it's because Rangers changes the system slightly with John Lundstrom sitting a bit deeper, but they need to get their game going again, Rangers, because they were passing the ball so well and creating openings, and for the last 5 or 10 minutes it's been one way.
A number of players have played for both clubs with real distinction. Alfie Cohen, hero of Rangers 72, still held in such high regard that Tottenham. Graham Roberts, of course, Gordon Dury,
Richard Goff,
Gaza himself.
Of course, Gaza, yeah.
No free kick, game continues. Lundstrom unhappy. Son gathers, shut down by Goldson. Pushed away by Sanchez. John Lundstrom goes for some revenge. He didn't stand in ceremony there, did he?
Yeah, he remonstrated too much, John Lundstrom. It wasn't a bad foul. He wouldn't be getting spoken to, but he's remonstrating as if to say that I did that because you didn't give me a foul earlier, you know.
In that broad scouse. Spurs have the free kick. Half time is 10 minutes away. Son to take the free kick. He was moaning too. Doesn't matter whether you're South Korea or Southport. Into the box, no takers. Since going behind, Spurs have stepped up a wee bit, Gordon. Would that be fair?
Yeah, they have. I don't know whether Rangers have stepped down a bit just to try and maybe hold on to that lead, but they certainly haven't been playing with the intensity they were playing up to the point where they got the goal. So they might need to step up a little bit.
Wonderful from Lawrence. Tries to introduce Kent, but backtracking is Royal. It's wonderful from Lawrence. He just said where he wanted it, and the pass was on the money. On the bench for Rangers today, 2 change keepers if required. John McLaughlin, Robbie McCrory. McCrory yet to get some game time pre-season. Brian Jack and Stephen Davis in there. James Sands, who's done well when he's been given opportunities so far. Slotting in at left-sided centre back. It's now Kent who upset his referee Beaton with a challenge. Also there is Nico Katic, Scott Wright, Fashion Junior, Scott Arfield, and Charlie McCann, goal of Blackpool, of course, King, Adam Devine. For the first time in the matchday squad, Malik Tillman.
You think you've even got Morelos and Roof there either. It just shows you basically the depth of the squad now.
Absolutely. Oh, the goalkeeper in a bit of trouble. Dyer did so well under some pressure. Rotundo again. Just covers the territory so quickly to force errors. Next Saturday, of course, the real thing starts for the trip to Livingston, 12 noon kick-off. And then it's Europe on the Tuesday the 2nd, away from home, and the following Tuesday the 9th against Union Saint-Gilloise in Belgium. Do you know much about the Belgian side, Gordon?
Not really, I don't know a lot about them. But when you look at the season, I mean, this is a crucial game. Big game for Rangers. You know, getting into the Champions League group stage could make a massive difference to the financial situation of the club, without doubt.
Kent tries to put some pressure on Romero. Dyer gets it back to Lloris. And Barisic quickly across to make sure Royal can't get it all his own way. Suter touched tight on Kulusevski. There will be a degree, Gordon, where these players, as we witnessed there, Kent chasing, balls in areas where you would normally just perhaps in that pre-season friendly let the opponents have it. Suter charging a challenge deep inside the opponent's half. Is this because they want to be involved, and if you don't do it, there are others desperate for that starting jersey?
I don't think there's any doubt about that, Tom. That's it's a competition for places always brings that out, and they're realising that it's a big game this, and they want to obviously impress against a team like Spurs, who got great ambitions for their game in England.
Sort out to Royal, fizzed across the face. James Tavernier defends with absolute distinction. Spurs keep the pressure on. Back to Romero. Again, Bentancur takes over. Sanchez exchanges with Højbjerg. Pace has just gone out it as Rangers regroup, reshape, and Spurs can't play through them.
No, it's definitely. I mean, the fact is that I think that was one of the things that Gio has noticed. There was the first half, there was a little bit of a threat of Spurs getting in behind, and that's why they really have brought John Lundstrom back into a much deeper position.
Barisic again, there's a bit of a coming together there. He's landed awkwardly, the Croatian defender. Maybe 13 November. He just came together with Rodrigo Bentancur. 49 caps for Uruguay. Bentancur joined in January from Juventus. Barisic will need some treatment here. Adam Devine, the youngster from the academy, on the bench. Option perhaps to replacement left back.
Yeah, the other player we didn't mention was obviously Ben Davies, who's come in as well, and he's not on the bench today, so he's another one you can add to it, and he'd probably be the competition for places for the likes of Barisic. I think Ben Davies plays a bit like Bassey used to do, either left back or wing back.
Yeah, and of course Tottenham have their own Ben Davies, not involved today though. Back to the days of two Gary Stevens.
Yeah.
Just said Gary Stevens, Tottenham with a Gary Stevens. Rangers have a Ben Davies. Tottenham have a Ben Davies. Neither involved today though. 4 minutes of the first period remaining. Rangers a goal to the good as Kane holds it up. Pops it back in again. Son threatening. And good recovery from Tom Lawrence. He just had to do enough to put him off line and length.
Yeah, he's also claiming it was a deflection there to his shot. Be interesting to see whether he's correct or not, or whether he's trying to make an excuse for the fact that it wasn't very accurate.
131 Spurs goals for Son since joining in 2015 from Leverkusen. A bit of a press on here, but Kamara deals with it. Through half-time today on audio you have interviews with Ravi Matondo and recent signing for Malky Thompson's women's side, Dina Orshman, before we return to the second half action with Gordon Smith. So at the moment it's Rangers who are looking to lift the Walter Tull Memorial Cup. One up as we head towards half-time. Cup to be presented by Jermaine Defoe, of course. Played with both clubs. Lawrence again just drops off, happy to take the responsibility. Delivered early by Tavernier. Matondo takes over. He's got Sanchez for company. Sanchez does his job well. Held up by Hubert. If there's competition throughout the side, it's equally rife for the job between the sticks. Gordon and Alan McGregor is showing he's here to play with a couple of huge saves in this first half.
Absolutely, I mean, that's the thing. A lot of people are wondering whether Alan McGregor is going to be a first choice goalkeeper this season, but here's a breakaway now.
A great take, Benton Kerr. Kamara shuttles back. Kulusevski cut back again. It's Goldson with the intervention. Slow things up. Benton Kerr gets it again. Demanding it's Hjoberg. In for Son, shut down Goldson. We drag back from Glenn Kamara. Cool as a cucumber. And here's Rangers in the counter. Through Tom Lawrence. Just delays getting the pass away, and it's taken off his toe.
Yeah, it was a good opportunity for Tom Lawrence. I expected a little bit better of him, considering how he started his Rangers career. I thought he'd been a bit quicker in feeding the ball through to Kent, who had made a good run.
Big diagonal is Harry Kane for Dejan Kulusevski. Gets a break again as it spins off Romero.
Penalty?
Surely not. It's a solid challenge from John Souther. A chance to see it again.
Is he saying it's on the edge of the box?
Well, John Beaton makes the call.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Probably was. I think it was just outside, but
do you think it was a bit flat-footed? I thought it was a...
Couldn't quite tell where it was going to give it.
It's actually gone through his legs with the ball, and he just stood his ground. Kulusevski again, bring it back in the left foot. Beyond the 45. Son or Kane is the question. Alan McGregor animated on the line in his firecracker kit. It is Kane. Cannons back off the wall. Now Harry Kane fails to hit the target. Kent caught in possession as the half-time whistle blows at Ibrox. A terrific workout for Rangers along the way. The highlight undoubtedly, Gordon, that goal in 23 minutes from Antonio Cholak, his first in blue.
Yeah, it was a tremendous goal from Rangers' point of view. They were playing very well at that point, but since that goal has gone in, it's been basically, they've been being dominated by Spurs. Spurs have actually controlled the game. I just wonder whether it's because the Rangers have taken out John Lundstrom out the midfield really and put him into the back just to try and cover there, but there's no doubt about it, that's resulted in Spurs having more control of the game, and therefore you know, from that point of view it might be interesting to see whether he'll make any changes at half time in terms of the system, or whether he'll make it changes also in terms of the personnel.
Half time at Ibrox, Rangers 1, Tottenham Hotspur 0. Now just yesterday Rangers entertained a very special visitor to the training centre. It was none other than celebrity chef Gordon Ramsay. Did he shake a few up as lunch bell rang? Let's watch out and see. Half time at Ibrox, 1-0 Rangers.
Good morning. in the house.
You all right?
How are you? Very well, how are you?
Nice to meet you.
No,
You
it's
all
good
right?
to see you too.
Players,
Yeah.
you had to use the ones in the top left.
Yeah, that further behind that. Right, well, my God,
Sessegnon again, Al McGregor blocks. Terrific angles from Alan McGregor, made himself big. Sessegnon 1-on-1 with the experienced Rangers goalkeeper. Tottenham get the corner, but again, huge intervention. Timely block from Alan McGregor.
Yeah, it was a lovely little flick into his path with Sanchez there, and it was definitely a good save by Alan McGregor. He read it very well to come out and block that. That was a real chance.
A grey day over Glasgow. Temperatures around 17-18 degrees. Matondo back defending. Pressure still on though, held up by Dyer. Clipped goalwards by Lucas. James Tavernier from a central defensive position. Gets it away, and it's all the way back to Hugo Lloris. 139 caps for France. Previously with Lyon. Hasn't been the busiest of afternoons for the French goalkeeper, Gordon.
No, he has had an awful lot to do, but the main thing is that the crucial element is Rangers are 1-0 up, so when I've had one chance, they've taken it well.
Searching ball from Sanchez. Ronald Barisic has a quick look. Gets it left behind. Others that played for both clubs I mentioned perhaps more recently: Dominic Ball, Nico Kranjčar, of course, and Nathan Oduwa, who's a loan spell at Rangers, famous for that rainbow kick at Alloa. Long from Suter. Cushion header Dyer. Lucas. Support comes from Kjolbjerg. Breaks away to the far side where the busy Kulusevski is taken out of the play. Playing today, of course, for the Walter Tull Memorial Cup. Spurs do it quickly. Suter protecting the near post. Second corner, second half.
Yeah, it's a bit of a surprise the Rangers players got there. I think they took it quicker than they expected there, but Suter did well just to get across there and block that, because it was a dangerous cross coming in.
Son again to take. Lucas has taken up position almost in the goalkeeper's toes, but he's been picked up for his troubles in there by Čolak. He goes with him as he comes short. Still not cleared. Lucas picks it up, pops it in. And does make heavy weather of getting this one away. Sessegnon launches it back in again, off the head of Suter. Oh, great intervention from Čolak, and he's released Ryan Kent. Look at the pace of Matondo if he can pick him out. That was like an Olympic sprinter. Tavernier takes over. Kent, Kamara is square. Oh, he just loses out to the back-tracking Kulusevski. Gordon, did you see the way Matondo got involved?
Yeah,
I wanted
really,
to get involved.
The pace he had there. Kent did really well until that final pass when he gave it away there, because that was a very dangerous situation.
Son links with Kane. Kane digs out the delivery, launches it into the net. Special goal. Special player.
That's it.
1-1.
That's what he's capable of. We knew that. We spoke about it before the game, Tom. You mentioned his goal-scoring record. And one thing you want to try and do is stop him getting onto his right foot there. And I think that's where Rangers failed there. The defender should have been pushed a little bit more. Golson should have got over and got him made sure he got onto his left foot.
From that range, he's absolutely deadly.
Yeah, he turned away from it there. Golson, he should maybe have just got closer to him and made sure that he was going to go onto his left side.
Harry Kane cancels out Antonio Čolak's goal. And the Rangers fans immediately get behind the team. They've been terrific in pre-season so far.
It's a sign of what you're up against today when you see that. I mean, that's a player who does that on a regular basis at very high level too. Terrific goal.
He's inching his way to his 250th competitive goal for Tottenham. Golson has to track the movement of Son. Stays touch tight, trying not to let him turn. And has to concede the corner though. Well, they won't come across this type of quality in the domestic campaign of league business ahead. Gordon, Son and Kane, world-class players.
Oh yeah, I mean, threat all the way through. You see it, and there's good quality round about them as well, Tom, no doubt.
Son delivers the corner. A bit of a nudge there on Goldson from Kobier, but the referee let it go. There's an intensity about Spurs since the turnaround, Gordon.
Yeah, you can see that. Changes they've made as well have strengthened them, I think.
There's Bissouma. Socks pulled up high over the knees, gathered in at the thighs. Suter out quickly, can't get anything on it. The ball round the corner. Barisic has to deal with it, and back to Alan McGregor. Cholak, the target. Walks straight back in against Sanchez, but picked off Lundstrom. Also entertained Spurs back in 1989. 1-0. Trevor Stephen on target. 1-1 at the moment.
What's the scenario, Tom? You say they're playing for a trophy. Does it go to penalty kicks if it's a draw?
We have to determine a winner, Gordon. Absolutely. Straight to kicks from the mark. Barisic has stayed high. Lawrence gets it from Kamara. Introduces Barisic, flights it deep. Tavernier on the volley. Fizz just wide of the target, Gordon.
Yeah, that's a good move though. Rangers played the ball nicely to each other there. Good football there, and it was very unlucky because Tavernier, it was a mix-up. It could have been a goal if it just been on target. I think that's exactly what he was trying to do, get it into that far post, but Colac nearly got into it, got the touch in it as well there, so that would have been a very good goal if that had gone in.
Determination from Suter, holds off Dejan Kulusevski. Great to see the wing-backs combine like that. We've profited from it so often.
Yes.
In the last couple of seasons, Gordon, from left to right and indeed right to left.
Absolutely.
James Tavernier. He really is maturing in every way as a player and as a captain. Was first given the band in 2018. As Barisic driving forward again, just lifted his head to play a pass and loses out.
It was on there, an earlier pass either way, or even diagonal.
Romero with the block. Here's Spurs on the counter. Kulusevski. This time he doesn't go in his left foot, takes a bit of a dive, and the referee will caution him for his troubles.
Yeah, he's getting a booking for it.
I mentioned James Tavernier, new contract, 7 years at the club, captain since 2018. He just embraces everything that's requested of him, and it's an unhappy Swedish internationalist, Kulusevski, here. A chance to see it from the other angle. No doubt about it, Gordon.
No.
It's an embarrassment.
I like to see players getting booked for things like that. They should be embarrassed by it because, as I say, I've been very much in favour of doing stuff over the years. At SFA, we brought in the retrospective punishment for diving, so I like to see them getting punished in that way.
Son with the clever ball. Kane. 2-1 Spurs. Now the deadly duo linked to good effect. And again, Son finding the pocket of space. Almost instinctively he knows where Harry Kane is. And touch and finish. Simple as that.
I can't believe he was unmarked there, Tom. That's the thing. When the ball got flicked onto him there, he's totally unmarked. I don't know whether even Bono Barisic should have been in from the side there just to pick him up, because he was out wide, not really involved, and not across there, giving that cover as a full-back should do. I think he should have been there. Look, that's too easy. But having said that, it's like he might get away with it in most occasions, but when you get somebody like Harry Kane there, that's a big threat. He's just such a good finisher.
Well, we did say that Spurs had started the second period with much more intensity. And 2 goals in a 6-minute spell. As them now favourites for the Walter Tull Memorial Cup. Although, plenty of time for Rangers to get back on terms. They are snapping into challenges. It wasn't as evident in the first half, Gordon.
Yeah, definitely. As I said, I think that's just a little bit. I think more that you've got to be. Gio will look at that and think about the positioning of players, and then maybe bring that across and say, look, in certain situations you have to be playing as an organised back four, and that didn't happen there when the space that Harry Kane got. As I say, Borna Barisic, in my opinion, should have been tucked in a little bit more there, and he might have been able to block it.
Lots of positives though so far from the Rangers' performance as we head to the hour mark. Čolak, terrific first take away from Dyer. Dyer strides in with a sliding chance to knock it away. Pushed forward again though and gathered by Matondo. Great chop back and a check again. Sessegnon didn't know whether to stick or twist. Spurs, of course, finished 4th last season. Just 3 points behind Chelsea. There's Kamara. And Barisic. Takes a deflection off Lucas. And Rangers get the first corner of the second half.
Yeah, it shows you the difference that could have made if that effort from Tavernier had gone in at the far post. Rangers got themselves in front. It was so close, but now they've got to try and chase the game and get back into it.
Here comes the corner. Olsen now gets it out to Matondo. Tavernier takes over, clips it in. Lucas with a clearing header. First to show Kent, gets there ahead of Kulusevski. Kent again delivers early. Čolak with a header. Just couldn't steer it downwards, Gordon.
No, it was a good cross from Kent as well, and he was unlucky. I think if the ball had actually managed to go over his head, then it could have been on to Matongo.
£50 million, man. Richarlison about to be introduced.
Yeah, there's major changes coming in here now.
Yeah, Kulusevski, who was yellow carded, is the man who'll make way for Richarlison.
Yeah, and Perisic,
strikers wearing a 9.
Perisic, who's an international player for Croatia. He's
another new signing
from Inter Milan, isn't he?
Yeah.
Charleston's a threat.
Caps for Croatia.
Yeah.
So they'll certainly be well recognised by Borna Barisic.
Charleston will be a threat as well now, because he's a good striker. Very
attack-minded Tottenham side now.
Not half.
Kulusevski and Sessegnon off. Richarlison and new signing Perisic coming on. Richarlison playing beyond Kane. We'll see Son perhaps dropped a deeper role, though he's still in the advanced area. Takes the pass from Lucas. Romero. Suma for Sanchez. Perisic can't keep it in play.
Saying a lot of caps. Perisic 113, Tom. He also scored 32 goals.
Incredible.
International level as well. So it's a pretty good record. He looks as if he's not a striker either, midfield player.
He's the man that's probably keeping Antonio Čolak out the Croatian national side.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, their poster boy signing of the summer, arguably, is Richarlison. 11 goals last season for Everton. Problem here for Eric Dyer. Stays down, game continues. Kent backtracks to good effect. Lawrence throws it off to Tavernier. Referee stopped the game now just to check the welfare of Eric Dyer. Another well-decorated player, 45 caps for England. He may have just rolled his ankle.
Yeah, I think he just went over on it. Just wonder if Rangers are going to make any change, but they're putting some players out now to warm up, so maybe thinking about some changes.
Quick refresher of who's on the bench, personnel-wise, for Rangers today. Ryan Jack, Stephen Davis, James Sands, Nico Katic, Scott Wright, Fashion Jr., Scott Arfield, Charlie McCann, Liam King, Adam Devine from the pathway from the academy, and Malik Tillman. Tillman, who made his Champions League debut for Bayern against Barcelona in December. On loan, 20 years of age, looking for some game time. Another sub pending for Tottenham.
A couple
experienced defender, Rodon.
I think I've got two coming on now.
He's one of them. Joe Rodon, 6'4" centre half, 28 caps for Wales.
No, the other one's put his top back on, just making the one change, I think.
2-1 in favour of the London side right now. 63 minutes on the clock. Gordon Smith joining us today on Rangers TV. His first match of the season. We'll be back with us soon. Kamara has to go and try and stop Lucas influencing the game as the wall pass is received from Richarlison. Kane lets it run. Son takes over. Goldson quickly across. Spurs working through the gears now. Lucas has it again. In for Kane. Wants the give and go with Richarlison. And Rangers stand firm defensively. Clever ball. Lundstrom releases Kent. And again Matondo powering forward to give him options. Lawrence drops off. He's got it now. Tavernier is square. This is good from Rangers. Can they play the incisive pass? Lawrence, scenic route round the back. Clips it in. Headed away Sanchez. Terrific sweeping move from Rangers.
Very good play. It started with a lovely ball from Lundstrom there just to get Rangers going on that side, but it was a good play from Lawrence and Tavernier there.
Round the corner again from Lundstrom, just chips it forward. Tavernier goes chasing and Lloris, makes it his. Rangers knowing they've got to step it up to get back in the game. Joe Rodon has to be patient, waiting to get involved. I wonder if they just take Dyer off for that wee roll of the ankle. Gordon, take no chances.
I think that's a possibility that we'll take Dyer off, yeah.
He has it just now though, Eric Dyer. And he's certainly not making any effort to move. Just kept the ball moving and has a jog off the knock at the moment. Rangers opened the scoring in 23 minutes. Tondo and Tavernier combining. Cholak finishing. 2 goals in a 6-minute spell from Harry Kane. 10 minutes of the restart. Tottenham 2-1 in front. Son, Kane. Shanks it centrally. He's tried to play it long to the flank there to find Perisic. Interesting the way the Spurs manager Antonio Conte has gone back to his old clubs. Perisic from Inter Milan, and there's a number of other players who joined from Juventus, including the first half midfielder Bentancur. Now Rodon might get the chance. Yeah, end of the match, Eric Dyer, no real surprise, Gordon.
No, I don't think so. I think maybe just don't want to take any more chances on him if he did go over his ankle. He's taking his time to come off right enough, so I think he could hurry up a little bit.
Tottenham start their campaign at home to Southampton, Joe Aribo and all, on the 6th of August. And another, we wish every success with his summer move. Joe Aribo on the way to leave with a goal and a European final. Unfortunately, it wasn't to be from spot kicks, but Joe Aribo came and certainly left his mark at Rangers. Rangers now looking to the bench as well. James Sands, Scott Wright are being readied. I think they might get the first sight of Malik Tillman. There's James Tavernier. Kamara. Big season for Ryan Kamara in that engine room. 5 years at Arsenal. Before heading north to Dundee, of course. His first Rangers goal came against Dundee. Lundstrom. Tempo dropped from the game at the moment, Gordon.
Yeah, and just there's a thing that you know, at times it just happens because Tottenham just sit in and just drop right back.
Kamara again releases Tavernier with a wee wall pass, fires it out to Barisic. Tavernier immediately goes central once on the end of the delivery. Spurs get it away. Kamara goes hunting. And again, Tondo gets something on it, but Kane, terrific from Harry Kane, chops it back, feeds it forward. Richarlison is taking out the player of Suter. Antonio Conte is not happy with the challenge from the Scottish internationalist on the big money signing, and he's cautioned for his troubles.
Yeah, I don't think there's any question that would be a booking, really, because you know, Richarlison has actually got the possession and then flicked it past Suter and then taken the hit. So I don't think there's any doubt he was going to get a yellow card for that. Just wonder whether maybe it's going to be changed now, whether you know, he'll take Suter off.
Well, James Sands has come off the bench to such good effect. Previously playing left-sided centre-back, looks so composed in possession, and he's got another 22 minutes or so to catch the eye again. So Lawrence and Suter, two summer signings, leave the field to be replaced by James Sands, who joined in January, and recent signing for his first taste of action in a Rangers shirt, Malik Tillman.
So that's John Suter's off.
Yep. And the two substitutes, Gordon, both US internationalists.
Yeah.
Oh, I missed Scott Wright. He's just popped in to get a piece of the action as well.
Yeah, it's 3 changes, I think.
So it's Rabbi Matondo who's made way for Scott Wright. I think we've seen enough, Gordon, of Rabbi Matondo to know he's going to get you in the edge of your seat come match days.
Definitely a terrific signing from Rangers' point of view. There's no doubt about it. He's got so much to offer, and as I say, he's going to be a real threat to every team that Rangers are going to be playing.
And Scott Wright, fresh from his cup final goal, will certainly be looking to.
There's 4 changes now. I think that we're almost getting to the full side being substituted from Tottenham.
Guess who's getting a warm welcome to Ibrox?
Mr. Foster.
Yes. 34 years of age now. Fraser Forster, signed in June from Southampton. Welcome to Ibrox. Spence, who was just signed in midweek, about to get his first taste of action. Brian is well involved in another summer signing, Clement Lenglet, who's on loan from Barcelona. Wholesale changes. Harry Kane has left the field. It's fair to say he's made a bit of an impact. Son as well, and you have to say, Gordon, it's been a pleasure to watch that quality of player strut their stuff at Ibrox.
Yeah, I think he's getting respected by the Rangers supporters. They're giving him a big round of applause coming off, and that's great to see. And so Son getting that as well. They recognise that these guys are top quality, and there's no doubt about it. Harry Kane, we spoke about his great goal scoring record, but all he did was cement that for us today by scoring two very, very good goals. The first one in particular.
All change for both sides, with the match having 19 minutes remaining. And it's the same for both sides, Gordon. I spoke earlier about the challenges of Rangers players wanting to force themselves into contention for a place. Tottenham, every bit the same.
Oh, definitely. I mean, they've got big competition for places too. When you think, they started with a £50 million player as a substitute.
Yeah. Huge hopes for Chavez in the season ahead. Tavernier, Cholak lays it off. Early take for Tillman. Feeds it in for Kent. Backtracking. Kent still gets there. Tillman tries to keep alive and is late with the ultimate challenge. Terrific defending from Tottenham there as Ryan Kent threatened to get it out his feet. Backtracking with a very timely challenge was Jed Spence.
It's a good pass from Tillman as well. Nice little forward pass into Kent there. It was just unfortunate. Just didn't quite break for him really as he went in. The defender was back there and challenging him there, and that was a big factor. Spence just managed to stop Kent, or else that was a real goal scoring opportunity.
£20 million, 5-year deal just in midweek. Jed Spence. Lucas is just kind of playing off the front now. Brian, previously with Seville, joined him a year ago. Europa League winner with Seville. Wearing 11, comes across to put some pressure on James Sands. The press was on from Tottenham. Coming forward again is Fjolbjerg, that Danish internationalist, covers every blade of grass. Kamara picks up the loose ball. Lundstrom striding forward. Here's Scott Wright now. Deflected. Good driven effort, shades of hand in the way he just gets his knee over the ball. Gordon, good clean connection, deflected behind for a corner.
Yeah, decided the early shot there, and I mean the initial shot might have been a real threat to Forster, but the deflection almost took it in as well at the post, but Rangers have got the corner from it.
Tavernier delivers. Tillman, determined and using his frame well.
He looks a big lad, doesn't he, Tillman, as well? He's definitely got physicality about him.
Just 22, Gordon.
I know, yeah. Give teams problems with even just with his physique, but he looks as if he's got a good touch as well.
Talking good touches, James Tavernier's displayed a few today. Now Scott Wright. The delivery blocked by Perisic, who's come back to do the hard yards. It's Tillman. Sands. Terrific from Rangers. Barisic pops it in, cleared only as far as Lundstrom. Lundstrom deflected and just turned behind. Now the goalkeeper was committed. Lundstrom just tries to pass it in at the post. Tries to see it again here. Does well to get out his feet. And it just comes spinning off Rodon. Corner in favour of Rangers, second in quick succession. tight climbs. Eventually just launched away. A mix up there as Al McGregor's giving it away. Charlison, Golson and Tavernier try to keep that back door closed. They do, but it's at the expense of a corner.
Yeah, his distribution is normally a bit better than that, Alan McGregor, isn't it? That was a poor pass from him there, just giving the ball away and allowing Spurs to get that attack going, but he doesn't make many mistakes, I have to say that.
It's Brian, corner. Cleared, ultimately just over the top. It's Perisic acrobatically. A clean touch on it. Looks as if he's playing in a kind of wide left role. Does play in an advanced midfield role, or even up top on occasion for Croatia. Playing a left wing back role at the moment.
Yeah, he's playing deep, isn't he?
Perisic, previously with Inter Milan. It's Tavernier. Sticking to the task, trying to get back on terms. Tillman alert. Kent takes it from Barisic. Romero with the block, corner Rangers.
Yeah, he's still lively, Kent, but they're playing against most of the opposition here now. Nearly everyone, I think, is a fresh player from Spurs' point of view, so that makes it more difficult to try and get a bit of space, because there's no doubt there's big different ranges. I think what Rangers have had 3 changes, haven't they?
Barisic to take the corner. Attacked by Goldson, still in the air. Well,
I think that's a really good chance.
It's a genuine chance, and plucked by Forster. Sands with a header
I think
from close range.
I think it's just scored, Tom. I really do. I think that when we see that again,
They're backtracking, not at the best of balance, James Sands. There's the ball away to the other end where Al McGregor looks as if he's going to play out the 90. Could do nothing about the 2 goals conceded to Gordon.
No, they're just terrific goals, no doubt about it. Don't think any goalkeeper would have any chance with either of them.
Can't get there. Lucas has it. Golson just with the block. Launched up for Cholak. Holds off Rodden. Free kick to Rangers, says referee John Beaton. That was a very timely intervention from Connor Golson as Lucas pulled the trigger, Gordon.
Yeah, it certainly was. It was a bit of a scary moment from Rangers' point of view there, but as I say, they're still working away, Rangers, and doing their best, but they're up against a very fresh 11 players out there now in terms of all the changes that Spurs have made, and they're still playing that very, very defensive formation. When they lose possession, they drop everybody back.
Yeah, there's 9 of the current side on the field for Spurs at the moment have come off the bench. Only Romero and Højbjerg are the constants. Good determination from Tillman. Kent again tries to go on the threaded ball from Cholak. Spence defends well, gets it into Romero. Romero to the flank, and it drifts out of play. 9 minutes remaining.
Well, the two changes, the two players that were still in the field are about to be taken off now.
It's just taken me 10 minutes to work out who was still there.
Yeah.
It is indeed Romero who is one of the constants who makes way. Coming off the bench. Japhet Tanganga. Under his debut under Jose Mourinho. Picked up a knee injury in March and his season was over. The other player coming on is Matar Sarr, midfielder, joined last August from Metz. And indeed, the two players who started the match have left the field. So it's Tillman does it quickly, but he's taken out the play by Langlet. Or Lenglet, my apologies. Lenglet. One from Barca. 15 caps France.
Yeah, it's a case of when you look at the changes they've even made, Tom, the quality. They've got players from Barcelona, millions of pounds, £50 million player coming on. It just shows you the gulf there is between the English game and the Scottish game.
Scott Wright, clattered by the backtracking defender. Perisic it is, who connected with the Rangers wide man. Play was the main stand assistant Daniel McFarlane. Free kick Rangers, Tavernier over the ball, 7 minutes and counting. Lucas with a touch, Lundstrom. Suggestions it may have just come off a hand in there, but the referee didn't see it that way. Like Tillman has work to do and he does well. Down by Brian. We're heading to the stage of proceedings when I'll be putting you on the spot for a man of the match. 43,036 is the attendance at Ibrox this afternoon.
Yeah, good attendance really for a friendly, isn't it? Because I don't think the season tickets count for today's game, so it's all people have to pay for the privilege to come along here today, but I'm sure they've enjoyed it.
I've certainly enjoyed it. What have we learned, or Gordon, what have you spotted that you could put down as you've taken on board from Rangers today?
I think there's no doubt about it that we're seeing the sort of formations was good, but also the talent the Rangers now have to call on in different positions. You know, certainly in the first half, Matondo looked tremendous, and Kolak has been good up front.
Yeah.
Was excellent too. So, but all in all, as I say, Rangers have got good players.
Lundstrom wants it back from right, just too heavy. Kamara stabs something on it, but it breaks kindly for Richarlison, who's released Lucas. Corner goes. I think he's been terrific today.
Yeah.
This afternoon's man of the match, sponsored by Lean Building and Maintenance, is number 2, James Tavernier.
Now the captain gets the award from the match sponsor. We'll get Gordon Smith's just in a moment.
I would say overall, I would agree with that, Tom. I think that he's been the best player. I think that he's been most consistent. I think Matondo looked great in the first half, did some terrific work. But I think all in all, over the 90 minutes, I think James Tavernier deserves to be the man of the match.
Rangers TV's man of the match from Gordon Smith, the captain, James Tavernier. Sands across to close down Richarlison. Richarlison has the accelerations, he just go beyond them. Sands stops him with a kind of late challenge, and the free kick goes in favour of Spurs. Richarlison, an interesting signing. He's 11 goals last season for Everton. 2018 he moved to Everton from Watford for 35 million, and this most recent move from Gordon, 50 million, plus 10 million of potential add-ons with a contract to 2027.
It's incredible, the money situation down in England. I mean, even nowadays
it's monopoly gone daft.
It is. When you look at somebody, when you buy somebody for 15 million pounds these days, it's like a squad player. It's not even somebody that consider to be a first choice.
It's Bissouma over the set play. Here comes, gets it away, got a late challenge for.
Other than that, he's an outstanding game, and as I say, no chance with either goal.
Barisic coming forward, tracked by Bryan. Lucas, interception from Sands, support from Wright. 2 minutes plus stoppages remaining. Stay with us and we'll cover off the trophy presentation. At the moment, it's looking as if it's going to be adorned by Tottenham colours. So other than the 3 changes, are we looking at potentially 8 players who are on the field at the moment who are likely to start next Saturday against Livingston, Gordon?
I think so. I think probably, if I look at it, I think the starting lineup is potentially going to be what it was today. I think that's the 11 he'll go with.
I understand that it's potentially a closed door game tomorrow at the training complex, so those who didn't get game time today get run out tomorrow. It includes Ryan Jack, Stephen Davis, Nico Katic, Fashion Jr., Square Arfield, the youngsters Charlie McCann, Liam King, Adam Devine, and maybe 1 or 2 who have come off the bench could be involved as well.
As I've said already, Tom, you could bet on a very strong lineup from the players who haven't played today. There's no question about it. A lot of quality there with Davis and Jack and Arfield, even from the midfield. You know, they've got like back in the team, obviously. You know, they've got Katic back there as well. So strength is in there in depth at the moment.
And just keep chasing and harrying. Lucas holds off Goldson. Loses out to the combination of Goldson and Kamara. Lucas, a very special player.
I think he's been pretty consistent as well, Kamara too, today, Tom. I think that, you know, he's also had a good game.
Barisic fires it in. That's just over the top from Richarlison. We're back next Saturday, high noon kickoff. Rangers at Livingston to start the campaign. Minutes have been played at Ibrox. Thanks for joining us today on Rangers TV. Gordon Smith co-piloting us through the match and awarding man of the match to this man here, James Tavernier. Very busy in there as Tillman does well to flick it back to Kamara. Tries to weave his way forward. Just runs into traffic. Richarlison on the charge. Going beyond them is Perisic. And tracked all the way by Kamara, who's given a great shift today.
Yeah, he has. He's worked really hard, hasn't he? And he did well to get back there. I mean, Golson sort of gave the ball away. He felt he was fouled. He's still having a go at the referee at the moment to say he was fouled, but I didn't think there was much in it at all. But it was a breakaway there. Eventually, you give a lot of credit to Kamara because he made a long run to get back there. As I said before, playing against fresh legs in the main, the guys who have been on the field for 90 minutes.
Well, we did suggest pre-match it was a step up in class from West Ham, but let me suggest that step up in class has only been evident courtesy of Harry Kane.
Yeah, definitely. That's the difference between the two sides, no doubt about it. I mean, they've got a lot of good players, but it was the two finishes, particularly the first one. Felt it could have been stopped. I did feel from the point of view of both goals, it could have been defended slightly better, but in the main, most of the time, you wouldn't expect a player to put the ball away as comfortably as what Harry Kane did.
Let's have an ear for right. There's a late drama where Rangers can get back on terms. Kamara for Goldson. Now Barisic. Kent is stretching Spurs. Tillman thinks about going over to offer support. Kent can't find him with the layoff. The intervention was from Sarr. Late challenge. He's talking about the free kick, probably the last action, I suggest, Lauren, when the ball comes back into play.
I think could be. It's funny in normal circumstances when it's a normal game. I think they normally add on 30 seconds for each substitution, but in these circumstances you can't really do that.
You need to turn the floodlights on.
Be here for a while yet, won't we?
And they cut it very short. I noticed in midweek against West Ham it was 90 minutes in about 10-20 seconds tops.
Yeah, I don't think there'll be much added on here. I think he's ready to blow.
Right on cue. Gordon Smith obviously a great sense of time. He's finished the Ibrox. Rangers 1, Tottenham 2. Rangers getting the opener, and his first in the colours of Rangers, Antonio Cholak. Cancelled out by a quick fire Harry Kane double in 50 and 56. Alan McGregor had given Rangers a platform to kick on with some big saves in the first half in particular. For me, the difference in the sides as we see the Croats coming together there to swap shirts. Perisic and Borna Barisic. Cholak was just arriving a wee fraction late to swap shirts with the Spurs player. A great workout from Rangers, but Harry Kane just showing all the qualities he has, Gordon.
Definitely. I mean, we saw it in the first half. We spoke about early on. Before the game, we even talked about it, about his touch and everything, but there's no doubt about it. We even talked about it early on, saying what a player he is and the goal scorer he is.
There's a few shirts getting swapped out there. Thanks for joining us today in our audio coverage as well. We'll do it all again next Saturday. Remember, high noon kickoff. Wherever you are in the world, it's 12 o'clock in West Lothian. So it's Tottenham who will take home the silverware. The Walter Tull Memorial Cup. As the officials come together, Harry Kane and his Spurs teammates go across to applaud those that's travelled up. A big season of expectation. The manager, of course, Gordon, Antonio Conte, a serial winner.
Oh yeah, I mean he's a great record in terms of trophies he's won, but you know he's certainly trying to build this Spurs team. They finished fourth last year, and it's quite funny nowadays. It's kind of a disappointment to teams